Hi guys, Josh here. Welcome to episode 2 of the Frog Vlog. I was going to start today by doing some construction stuff on some new shelving back here, but it's currently raining and I don't really have anywhere inside to be cutting wood or anything like that, so that's going to be postponed. But that's okay, there's plenty of other stuff to do. I do still have to go through all my tadpoles, so I will show you how to do that. But first I'm going to start a rat defrosting because I'm going to feed my doom rose boa later. And then I'm going to do a quick water change on my aquarium here. I'm going to change out all the water cups in my grow out tanks here. I do like to keep a little water dish for my froglets. They do like to soak from time to time. The only problem is they do tend to serve as just fly traps, so you have to change them out pretty regularly because they will just fill up with dead flies and get gross pretty quickly. And after that I need to go through and feed all the frogs again because I feed them usually every other day. Alright, so I've got my tadpoles in the closet back here on this rack. Don't get too attached to this because it's going to be changing really soon. In fact, I just got the notification that my new rack system for my tadpoles shipped today, so it should be here next week sometime. But I'll be showing setting that up and transferring the tadpoles over to it in one of these upcoming vlogs. But for today, I'm going to go through the tadpoles that I have here and show you how I take care of them. So in the last vlog you saw me move some froglets from the morphing cups into the grow out tanks. So the first thing I'm going to do here is go through my tadpoles, and any that have popped their front legs out I'm going to pull those ones out first because those ones are going to be put into morphing cups. I like to keep my tadpoles organized so that the oldest ones are kind of in the top left part of the rack, and then they get younger as they go down the rack. So as I pull these ones out that are ready, I will kind of shuffle all the cups up so that the oldest ones are now here. And then once I move these guys out of these cups, I can wash them and they will go back into the bottom of the rack to make room for new tadpoles. I am going to change some of the water in these ones today. I don't always change the water, usually just top them up, but they are starting to build up a little bit of debris, so I'll just use my turkey baster, siphon out some of the debris from the bottom of the cups, and then I will refill them. And once I've got all the water changed out and topped up, I will give them a little sprinkle of food. The food I'm using right now is kind of a homemade recipe that I got from TCS Dart Frogs, and that's the ground up soldier fly larvae mixed with spirulina powder, and I found that to be working really well. The other commercial food that I use quite a bit that I find to be quite good is the New Life Spectrum, and specifically the Grow formula. It is one of the marketing claims on their container that it's less filler and less waste, which I find is true. Out of all the fish foods I've tried, it is the best one for not fouling the water. And I find that in these small cups that don't have any like active filtration or anything, it's really important to have a good food that isn't going to foul the water. And I use the Grow formula of the New Life Spectrum just because it has the highest fat and protein contents of any of their foods. I find I get the best growth rates and healthiest froglets when I'm using that specific Grow formula. So now that all the current tadpoles are taken care of, it's time to check the egg bin. This is kind of the incubator, I guess, even though it just sits at room temperature, but the eggs are laying in these little dishes, and then once they are hatched out and you can see that they're out of the eggs and their tails are straight, it's time to move them into the deli cups. So you can see you've got a few Leucomelas tadpoles here ready to go. And so basically all I will do to transfer them is use like a plastic spoon, try to get it up next to them, and let them kind of wiggle themselves onto the spoon. And then I will just dip it into the water and let them go. And just repeat until they've all been moved into cups. I will sometimes start doubles or even triples in these small cups when they're very young. And then as they get a little bit older, I will transfer them into individual cups. Then they each get a tiny pinch of food, and then a label with the type of dart frog and the date that I put them into the cups, and then they can get put into the rack with the rest of them. And that's pretty much going to do it. That's all I really do to take care of them for the most part. Dart frog tadpoles are honestly pretty easy. Just try to keep the water relatively clean, feed them a couple times a week, and most of them will morph out nice healthy froglets. In the future, I will also go into like egg laying sites and collecting eggs and tadpoles from the vivariums. And if there's anything else related to tadpole care that you saw in this video that you'd like me to go over in more detail, let me know down in the comments there. So the next thing on the agenda is to install these Wi-Fi Smart Plugs that I got. These ones in particular are the Meross brand. I will throw an affiliate link down in the description if you guys are interested in getting some of your own. But this video isn't sponsored or anything, and I've never used any other types of Wi-Fi plugs, so I don't really have anything to compare it to. So I basically just went for one of the cheapest ones that was rated for 15 amps, and that got pretty good reviews. I've had one hooked up for a week or so now, and I'm liking it so far, but again, really nothing to compare it to, so take it with a grain of salt. But we're going to hook the rest of them up today. So the plug is connected to the Wi-Fi network in my house, and I've got an app on my phone to control it. So I can just hit a button like that, and everything turns on. Hit that and it'll turn off. And I can also use the app to set up timers for the lights and control them remotely. So as long as I have a data connection on my phone and my home Wi-Fi network is on and running, I should be able to control the lights in here and see if they're on or not from basically anywhere. So as I mentioned, I got this wall running on it already. There's a plug kind of back in there, so these bins are really easy to move, so that one was really easy. But over on this side, the plug on this wall is kind of right behind this tank, so I'm probably going to have to disconnect that mist nozzle and slide that out of there. But I think I'm going to try to do one zone for all of these tanks, and then one zone for this corner, and then I will install another one out here to run all of these tanks. And one of the reasons I wanted to get these smart plugs is because we are about to head in to a massive heat wave here, so I have installed an air conditioner in the frog room to make sure that the temperatures in here stay tolerable for the frogs, because dart frogs do like it at about room temperature, and they can get heat stress if it gets too hot. And the lights in this frog room do give off some heat. I'm pretty much using all LEDs, so it's not as bad as like an incandescent or something would be, but it does add up and they do produce some heat in here. So with an air conditioner running, I didn't want to be kind of fighting the heat from the lights as well as the heat from outside to run the air conditioner any more than necessary. So I want to be able to turn the lights off during the hottest parts of the days for the next couple weeks, and maybe throughout the summer depending on how bad the heat is. But that'd be kind of a pain to do with the traditional timer. The one I have right now is kind of tucked in behind because I don't have to touch it very often, so it's kind of a pain to get to. It's really hard to read the display to reprogram it or turn it off, but also because all the lights are currently running through one big timer, so to use that one I'd have to turn off like all the lights at once. But I was thinking with the multiple smart plugs I could do a couple different zones in here, and then if I needed to turn the lights on temporarily just to film something or something like that, it would be really easy to do through the app like I showed you. Alright, so that's the smart plugs installed in the frog room. We have 3 zones now, so we have this one right here, this back corner here does those tanks, and then over here. So I don't know why I didn't do this a while ago. The setup was really easy with these plugs. Again, not a sponsored video, but it just took a few seconds to set each plug up using the app there, and it's really easy to make the schedules in the app as well. So now I can easily turn the lights off when it's going to be really hot out, so the air conditioner isn't working harder than it has to. But then I can also easily turn on the individual zones if I need some light in there for filming or working on the tank. So I'm really happy to have these installed in here now. I haven't done the outside part in that other corner that I talked about yet, just because I think I'm going to have to wait till my girlfriend gets home, because I think I need an extra hand to kind of fish the wires behind the tanks the way those ones work there. So that's going to do it for this vlog episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to help support the channel, you can just like and subscribe or share with your friends. You can also go check out my affiliate links down in the description there. And as usual, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions for future videos, leave them down below there in the comments. Have a great day, and until next time, happy frogging.